Hello everyone, it is your favorite chosen giraffe Sid, and today I'll be doing a little behind the scenes of my Otome game, The Villainess Just Wants to Eat. But before we get into it, I'd like to make an announcement. My next game, I'd Do Anything, comes out August 1st. This is a queer horror game that follows the relationship of Messalina and Kylie. You can find the link in the description below. Alright, now let's get into the BTS. There will be spoilers ahead. Villainous stories have been increasingly popular. The market is saturated with stories of villainesses redeeming themselves and living a happy life after hardship. I didn't want hardship. My theme for last year was pure love. I wanted to focus on the positive aspects of it. I took inspiration from my favorite food anime and just stuffed it all into one. The biggest inspiration is my next life as a villainess, all routes lead to doom. The MC, Katarina, is obsessed with food, which completely derails her from the villainous role she's supposed to partake in. She also gets a cool mixed harem. I wanted something similar, besides the harem, kind of. So I took the main theme from that, as well as inspiration from other anime that I enjoy, such as Isekai Shokudo, Ristorante Paradiso, and Tondemo Skill de Isekai Horo Meshi. All these shows focus on food and how it affects relationships. And then the game was born. I feel like this was a pretty simple choice. Isekai is very popular right now. I would even say it's oversaturated. A lot of my problems with Isekai, especially recently, are that they have no depth. A majority of it is about an overpowered man that gets a harem. It has no substance, and I wanted something different. When it comes to fantasy and isekai, I gravitate towards those that are semi-lighthearted and more of a slice of life, like the anime I mentioned above, along with other anime such as Dungeon Meshi. I value fantasy and isekai that are simple yet have a good storyline. This isekai focuses on Divinia, the main character who's stuck in a lifeless routine of work and going home. Her only solace is the webtoons, manga, and manhwa that she reads. A lot of isekai come from self-inserts, and I wanted this self-insert to be relatable. I love making character designs. There's nothing better than gathering reference photos, seeing a vision, then having that vision come to life. I put a lot of thought into the designs, and I wanted to go over some of the choices. Her design was meant to mix the look of a classic villainess with her real-world self. I took inspiration from Dark Lolita clothing as well as looking up fashion commonly used in villainous manhwa. Her expressions are almost exaggerated and show off her personality well. Plus, look at those chubby cheeks. Who wouldn't fall in love with her? Ottilia was meant to be the picture-perfect MC in a manhwa. She has the classic blonde hair, bright golden eyes, and delicate clothing. Her personality is the calm, slightly timid type, the one who is always polite. She can also get a bit mischievous herself, as seen in some of her expressions. Everyone loves a puppy dog himbo. I wanted Cynric's whole vibe to exude sunshine. Tall, thick, with broad shoulders and a cute facial expressions. Oh man, he was just so cute. I wanted people to look at him and go, oh, I want to hug him so badly. This design was purely self-indulgent. Louis was everything I wanted in a love interest. Glasses, an aloof personality, secretly caring, and has a bit of trauma. Not to mention he's on the older side as well. If you hadn't noticed by now, I love older men. All the character designs are meant to feel like a classic manhwa. I think the artist did a wonderful job of really providing that feeling, both in the sprites and in the CGs. I am a big writer of all genres, but mainly romance and angst. I knew I had the romance down pat. The main problem was comedy. I've watched many comedic shows and movies. I've read a lot of comedic comics. The problem was actually trying to write it. Humor is subjective. People have different things that make them laugh. So I decided to go with a comedy that relied more on lighthearted jokes and goofy moments. The story itself didn't have much angst or conflict. I wanted to focus on the happy and the good. The mixture of the love of food as well as Divinia's almost dense nature made the story fun and almost challenging to write. I wanted to give it that classic slice of life humor. I know I made myself laugh at some of the scenes, but I'm the funniest person I know, so I don't think it counts. If you read the postmortem for the game, then you know how I drew from personal experiences. The topic of food and the troubles Cynric and Lewis and even Davinia stem from real life. My relationship with food hasn't always been good. At times, it felt like a toxic cycle. Similar to Cynric, I lost joy in cooking. And like Lewis, I found eating to be a chore and had negative memories connected to certain foods. Davinia was written how I aspire to be, confident in herself and the way she loves food. She loves food and loves eating unapologetically. She taught both Cynric and Lewis how to love food and themselves. Writing this was almost cathartic and a way to help mend my own relationship with food. The relationship is still rocky, but it's definitely on the mend. Cooking has even become a love language of mine. I think all games have at least some personal experience in them, and I think that personal touch makes playing even more memorable. The main inspiration for the music came from several different pieces of media. One was a piece from a previous game, The Librarian. The others were a Hisaishi and Mondstadt vibe. The music, which you have been listening to throughout this video, was just absolutely perfect. Light, whimsical, and something that could evoke emotions. I love music. I know a lot of people favor turning it down when playing games. My goal was to have music that was pleasant to listen to, something that people wanted to keep on. I love voice directing. I absolutely love it. It makes it even more fun when the voice actors I'm working with are talented and just overall delightful. I'll admit that when listening to the lines for the first time, I got all giggly and happy. When I listen to the voices, I just can't help but think that the voice actors were made for the roles. May had a gorgeous and lighthearted voice that fit Otelia to a T. Max's genuine laughter brought Cynric to life, and Nick's commanding yet gentle, kind tone made Lewis who he is. These voice actors are so insanely talented. None of the characters would be complete without them. Seeing the game come together was such a dream. It was a long process, almost a year long. We started with Otome Jam and ended almost a year later. There were lots of ups and downs. There were so many setbacks, but the team worked tirelessly, and the game truly shows everyone's hard work. From art to programming to music, every single member of the team was valuable in completing the game. Because I wanted to tell a simple story. There didn't need to be multiple endings, just one story, one ending. And that ending is happiness. Technically, yes. I wrote a total of 5 extra stories as download goals. One of the stories explores the relationship between Otelia and Davinia if it had been romantic. It's really cute. Absolutely. It takes time, but I have several ideas for Otome games. You might see one from me in the future. The very far future, but in the future. I want to say no, but a game I'm releasing later this year does involve food, so kind of, yeah. I do have plans for that. Secret plans that are definitely happening. All I can say is to keep an eye out. In Lewis's route, it's the Kabedon scene. Hearing the voice lines for that had my heart going doki doki. For Cynric's, it's the scene where he's teaching Davinia to cook. Oh, it's so sweet. I wanted to be hit by a truck. There is a message in the game, a theme, if you will. And it's cheesy, but it's almost comforting. The villainess just wants to eat, encourages others to find love in food, and that food brings all types of love. I hope this game continues to help people, even if it's finished for now. I had a lot of fun making the villainess just wants to eat come to life. If you want to play my games, check out my itch.io. Make sure to like and subscribe. All my social media links are in the description down below. This has been your favorite chosen giraffe, Sid. I'll see you next time. Bye bye!